Hi friends, Shayla here, and it's time for my quarterly manga haul. So as you guys know, I only film my book hauls and manga hauls quarterly. That's going to continue to be the formula. I am going to incorporate my digital pickups back into the hauls starting in 2021, and I'm hoping to get a Kindle/Comixology tour done early on in the quarter because I tried to do it for 25 days of manga. The screen recording didn't work. It was all corrupted and didn't compile right. So I'm hoping with all my heart to get that up to you guys soon. But let's go ahead and dive in. First up, I'm going to show you something that isn't manga, but it's based on a manga that I got for Christmas from my husband. And I love it, and I haven't shown anybody yet. But I know that the people who watch this video would probably appreciate it. My husband got me a canvas print of Hinata flying, and it says "Dare to Fly," and it just warms my heart that even though he doesn't enjoy haiku, he is totally fine with me and my obsession with these 12 teenage boys. And this is beautifully done. I don't know who the artist is. I want to say it says Hannah Fox Tumblr on the bottom there. But I absolutely adore this. If I can find the link to this, I'll try to get it from him. I'll leave it linked down below because, man, I'm going to have to go explore this artist because this is beautiful. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's actually get into the manga. Some of this, well, a good chunk of this, I was gifted by people for Christmas because people spoil me. I did get a little bit from publishers, but mostly it was my own money or gifts. I'm going to do what I've done before. I'm going to go by publisher, but this time I'm going to go in reverse order. This is my biggest stack, so I'm going to save that towards the end. So I kind of have a little mixed bag stack here, so we'll start with it, and then we'll work our way up the bigger stacks. So first up, we've got a couple of Yen Press titles. First up, we have Volume 11 of Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. I really need y'all to read this one because I need more people to talk to about it. This is a very political-centered fantasy romance in which we follow a young woman named Seraphi. Seraphi was raised her entire life to become the sacrifice to the King of Beasts. Through spoilery circumstances, she ends up being his basically betrothed instead. It's fantastic. I love it so much. Please pick it up. One that I got as a gift from my girl Maeve over at Maeve Ever Reading is the first volume of Carol and Tuesday. I have not watched the anime for this one yet, but I am very interested in it. My husband and I have it on our list to watch soon, and so I'm really excited to have the first volume of manga to read of it. This one was also a gift. This was from my girl Aisha over at Mama Loves Manga, and that is Volume 1 of A Witch's Love at the End of the World. She knows I want to explore more Yuri and more LGBT-centered relationships in manga over the next year, and so this is a great way to kick that off. Next, we have a volume that's been on my radar for a long time, but I finally had a gift card, and so I spent it on that. And that is The Girl with the Senpaku Eyes, Volume 1. These are pretty pricey. This is from Dempa Publishing, and I really love the concept of this, but I'm also kind of getting this with Queen Bee that I can pick up digitally from Kodansha. So I'm interested to kind of see what this one brings to the table. I really love the art style, so I'm really interested to see where this one goes. Next, I have Volume 1 of The Apothecary Diaries. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this series as a whole. I love the look of the art, the whole concept. I mean, as I drop it, look at him on the back. Like, he is so my aesthetic, it's not even funny. So I'm really excited to give this a try. I have a Tokyo Pop title here real quick, and that is A Gentle Noble's Vacation Recommendation Volume 1. This just looks like a really fun slice of life story about travel. I don't know too much about it, but I'm really excited to read it hopefully soon. This is kind of something really random I found at my local used bookstore, and it is a Japanese volume of Volume 1 of Tokyo Tarareba Girls. I love the size of it. I really wish we got more manga this size. And I love the French flaps because the underneath is so pretty. So I am really, really excited to own this. I don't know how it ended up at my used bookstore, but man, I'm going to keep looking to see if Japanese volumes pop up of my favorites because, man, I would love to have a small collection of Japanese volumes, even though I can't read them, of some of my favorites just because I love the size, I love the pretty, I love the spines, I love everything about this. That's it for kind of the random stack. So the next stack we're going to get into is Seven Seas because that's the next smallest stack, but it's still a significant stack. So, first up, we have Sazan and Comet Girl. This is the complete series in the one omnibus. I did read all of this one on a live stream, so I will leave that linked in the corner. And it's basically about a young man in space who comes across this girl who's running away from all sorts of things, and he chases after her and wants to find her because he's in love with her. It's cute. It's fun. I gave the whole series 4 stars, and it was just a good time. It's one of those volumes of manga I'm not going to shut up about, and that is Cutie and the Beast Volume 1. I've talked about this ad nauseum on the channel, so I'm not going to talk about a lot about it here, but it is an age gap romance between an 18-year-old young woman and a 29-year-old professional wrestler who is the epitome of an alpha mellow, if you know what that term is. If not, it's like he's alpha, he's protective, and he's a big brute, but he's just a marshmallow inside, and that is totally Kuga, and I love this a whole lot. Next, we have The Ancient Magus Bride Volume 13. Y'all knew it was going to be in the stack. I love this series so much. I continue to enjoy this arc of the story. It's a broader sense of growth for Chisei, and I think that's really important for the future of the series. It's 13 volumes deep, obviously, and I'm going to continue to collect this as they come out. Next up, we have Wizards Blue Volume 1. I absolutely adored this. I did talk about it in a new and notable sometime. I don't remember where. I'll try to leave it linked in the corner if I can remember which one it's in. Another one from that same video is We Swore to Meet in the Next Life, and that's when things got weird. This is an age gap between a 39-year-old woman and a 17-year-old young man. But in their previous life, the roles were reversed. He was a knight, she was a princess, and now they're in the modern world. They still feel that connection, and it's about the awkwardness of trying to navigate that. Things don't feel weird at all for the guy, but obviously the woman who's almost 40 feels really weird about things. So it does talk about that a lot in this first volume, so I'm really interested to see where the series goes. Like, this isn't going to be a series for everybody, obviously, but I think the exploration and the discussion about relationships is really interesting, so I want to see where it goes. We have A Girl from the Other Side, Volume 9. I loved this volume. I cried at the end. I continue to love the series. We are learning things about Shiva that are very interesting, and the series makes a... Like, there are things about the series that are starting to click better for me, and it's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Next, we have Nicola Traveling Around the Demon's World, Volume 3. This is a really adorable slice of life about a little girl who stumbles into the demon world looking for her mother, and this devil boy named Simon, who takes her under his wing and is protecting her as they try to find her mother. It's so sweet. I love it. My pocket is buzzing. It's just my husband. He's showing me things. It's great. All right, next up we have Volume 2 of Fire at His Fingertips. Y'all knew this was going to be in this stack because it came out this quarter, and this was glorious. I read it the second I was home with it, and it was everything I wanted and more. It continues to be awesomely smutty, and I love it. If you're a dirty, filthy soul like I am, you will love this volume. Next up, we have the final volume of Primitive Boyfriend. I actually really loved how things wrapped up in this series. I hate that people gave this series so much flack in the beginning when it was first announced, because it is truly a beautiful series, and I absolutely love and adore it. I really want more people to read this one. Next, I bought a few volumes off a friend of mine, and that is volumes 1 through 3 of Dragon Goes House Hunting. Obviously, I have these slated for a try 3. The whole concept of this is really cute. My cat is trying to knock over my stacks. Lights up. Don't do that. Go away. Go on. There we go. So yes, I'm hoping to get to these relatively soon. So yes, hopefully you'll be seeing these sooner rather than later in a try 3. A volume that completely surprised me this year, and that is Manly Appetites. Minagishi Loves Otsu. This is a really sweet office romance about a chubby guy named Otsu who is very curious about the office hunk who comes down to his department and seems to show him an inordinate amount of attention and loves to feed him and all those kinds of things. But Minagishi, the office hunk, just has the biggest crush on Otsu ever. You see their meet cute and everything, and they are just adorable. I love this so much. I cannot wait for volume 2. I really want more people to read this. Otsu isn't very kind to how he talks to himself, so if that is triggering for you, please tread lightly, but I love this. I love this so much. Next we have My Senpai is Annoying Volume 3. I continue to really love and adore this series. This is a really fun office rom-com about the big burly guy and the little tiny futaba, and I just love it. And it is colored, so I don't remember if this is based on like a webcomic that they're printing. I don't know the deets, but it's cute. I really like it. And last but not least, for the 7 Seas stack, is I have all the volumes of The Sacred Blacksmith. I did unbox this in my Christmas Y'all Spoiled Me Too Much vlog, where I open all the things from all of your amazing faces. And so I will leave that linked if you want more details on the series and who gifted it to me and all those kinds of things. But like, I cry during that part of the video. It's only about 5 minutes in, so you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want to. But yes, it was an amazing gesture, and I'm still very grateful. All right, on to the next stack, which is Kodansha. And then Viz is last because it's my biggest stack. Like, I tell you guys, I feel like I keep Viz in business by myself sometimes with the amount of Viz I buy. All right, so let's dive into Kodansha. So first up, we have Suin Taichan Volume 2. I continue to love the cat shenanigans of an elderly cat and a kitten. It's so cute. It's just cuteness. It's too much cuteness. I love it too much. Next is another gift that I received, and that is the second omnibus of Holic. This is again from my girl Aisha over at Mama Loves Manga. She loves Holic, so I fully expected, like, I knew this was on my wish list, and I'm like, if Aisha gets me anything off that wish list, it'll probably be my next omnibus of Holic, and I was right. But I am really excited to continue on with the series. Next, we have Night of the Ice, Volume 4. I continue to really love the direction of this series. I think it's going to be like 10 volumes long, is what I want to say. It is complete in Japan, but I am really excited for the future of this series. There are really interesting things happening within the series, like with his career and stuff, so I'm really interested to see what happens. How many times did I say interested in that clip? Next, we have Sayonara Football Volume 1. I really enjoyed this. This is about a girl who's very talented at playing soccer. The area she lives in doesn't have a girls' league, but the boys won't let her play because she's a girl, and so it's just this really interesting dynamic, and I absolutely love it. I'm really interested to see where the series continues to go from here. Next, I have Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku Volume 4. I do have a whole vlog for this, so I will leave that linked in the corner if you want my thoughts on this particular volume. All I can say is I love it still. All right, next up for this haul, I have Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Something's Wrong With Us. I continue to really love and adore this romantic, thrilling, suspense story. This is definitely dark. It's not for the faint of heart. I love it so very much. The way the story is crafted is fantastic. For me, this is more about the story than the actual relationship, though that does play a big part in why things work so well. It is so layered, it is so nuanced. The cliffhanger on this volume, like, I'm mad. I need Volume 5, like, yesterday or whenever I read it. Like, I really need Volume 5, like, stat. Next up, I have Volume 3 and Volume 4 of Perfect World. I continue to collect these physically as they come in. I have read the whole series digitally and really adored it, and I just really enjoy revisiting the series a lot. I know a lot of people like have mixed feelings on the series, but I feel like the further into the series you get, the better it gets because the characters learn, and it's fantastic. It is told from an ableist perspective, and it's about this person who is ableist learning how to properly treat and care for someone who is disabled, and what's okay and what's not. So I think it's a really great teaching tool. Next up, we have Volume 5 of Living Room Matsunaga-san. Again, this is one that I think I did the first 6 volumes digitally, and then the rest I plan on doing physically. So I'm really excited to continue on with the series once I get to the volumes I haven't read yet. I did quickly flip through this to refresh myself of where we're at in the story, and I still love it. Next, we have Blue Period Volume 1. I do have this mentioned in a new and notable. I'm sure it's already linked in the corner. So if you want my full thoughts, you can definitely go there, but I do intend to pick up more of the series. We have Sweat and Soap Volume 4. Y'all know I'm never going to shut up about Sweat and Soap. I've gotten so many people to try it, and I am so grateful. Yes, the initial concept is weird, but these two have such a healthy relationship in which they communicate. It's so good. I could fangirl about this forever, but I won't. I've already done that in a video. It's in the corner. Next up, I have volume 1 and volume 2 of Whisper Me a Love Song. I was gifted this by Dylan over at Dynamic Dylan for Christmas. Thank you, buddy. I love you. And then I picked this up because I saw it at my bookstore. And I'm like, ooh, volume 2. I'm so excited. Because again, as I've mentioned before, I do want to explore more LGBT-centered relationships in manga. Because the ones that I explored this year were really, really fun. So I just have to have my friends who read a lot more of it kind of screen them for me so that I make sure I enjoy it. But this is a series that's really adorable and I'm really loving it. I have volume 13 of To Your Eternity. I am excited for this next arc of Fushi's story. Volume 12 was so healing that I'm kind of nervous as to what's going to happen once we start this new arc, so I'm really interested. This is definitely a more modern arc of the story, so it's going to be an adventure. So next up, I have 5 volumes of Kiss Me at the Stroke of Midnight. I received these 4 as a Christmas gift, and then I had bought volume 11 for myself. So continue to really like this series, and I'm finally getting around to collecting it physically. So now I'm in like my special edition collector's edition portion of this haul for Kodansha. First up, we have Chobits Volume 2. I have read the whole series and done a reaction vlog to it, but these collector's editions are stunning. So rather than tracking down the singles, I opted to collect the collector's editions, and I'm really glad. These are really solidly built, and I really like them. Next, we have the final volume of Sailor Moon, the Eternal editions. And yes, the reread's coming in 2021. That's all I'm going to say. And then I also have the hardback volume 6 oversize of Cardcaptor Sakura. I continue to enjoy the series. Again, I don't think it's my favorite Clamp title, but I really love these editions, and I'm really glad I'm collecting them in these editions. All right, now we are to the Viz stack. This is the final stack, and it's extensive, so let's go. All right, so first up, I was gifted volume 4 of Kimi ni Todoke from my girl Tamika over at Library of Tomes. By the way, anyone I mention in this video is linked down below. And I still need to track down volume 3, but I am really happy to already have volume 4, so I can kind of read 2 to 3 volumes of it at a time. I have a feeling this one's going to be going out of print soon because it's been finished for a long time. So I'm going to try to scramble and get as many of these as I can. I also ended up buying from a friend From Far Away Volume 1 by Kyoko Hikawa. I'm really interested in the series. It's a fantasy romance. And you know me and shoujo fantasy romance. Like, we just get along, y'all. So I really want to try it. Another volume 1 that I picked up is volume 1 of Queen's Quality. I do know that this overlaps with QQ Sweeper, but I really want to collect everything by this mangaka, which is Kyosuke Motomi. And I just love their art. I love what they're doing, and I'm really excited. All right, so next up, I was gifted 4 volumes of A Devil and Her Love Song from my girl Maeve over at Maeve Ever Reading. She gifted me the first 3, and then volume 7, because she had a duplicate of volume 7. So, Maeve, you're just amazing. I love you as a human. Komi Can't Communicate Volume 9. Volume 10 is out. I just haven't physically picked it up yet. I have read it, though, and it's adorable. Continue to love Komi and all her awkward life shenanigans. Next, I have Snow White with the Red Hair Volume 10. I have read Volume 11 already. I continue to really love the direction of the series. It keeps getting better. There's date time for Zen and Shirayuki in this particular volume, so it's good. All right, so I was gifted Volume 4 and Volume 5 from my girl Ashley. I am very excited. I read these already. They were so fun. I really want to continue to collect the rest of the series. It only has 13 volumes, so I don't have too much further to go. But yes, continue to love this big guy Takeo getting a love story. Next, we have Volume 2 of Fly Me to the Moon. I continue to really love this series. It's such a good time. And my husband and I really loved the anime. We both watched it. And so I'm really interested moving forward with the series. And then I did pick up a physical copy of Volume 13 of Aoharu Ride. This is a fantastic shoujo series. Not my favorite Sakisaka title, but it's still really, really good. And then I picked up Volume 5 of An Incurable Case of Love. This is where the interlopers entered the story, so it wasn't my favorite volume in the series, but we've only got 2 more to go, and I'm really interested to see how Injoji chooses to wrap this up. Another final volume that I picked up was volume 16 of The Demon Prince of a Mochi House. I love how this one ended. It had a twist at the end that turned into one of my favorite tropes. So I'm totally okay with how this ended. I really enjoyed it. I do plan on rereading the whole series soon. I'll probably do a reaction vlog when I do that. And of course, we have volume 3 of Prince Freya, which fed my soul. Volume 3 is so good. Volume 4 was even better. But I really loved volume 3. It makes reading volume 2 worth it, I promise. And yes to all the Prince Freya forever. And I finally have a physical copy of volume 26, which is probably my favorite volume of Yona I've ever read, or at least the last portion of this. There's such good things that happen that made my heart so happy. I was screaming. It's so good. All right, I did also pick up volume 41 of Haikyuu. I believe volume 42 either comes out soon or it's already out, so I do plan on picking that one up soon because there's only a handful of volumes left for the physical ones of this one. So I'm really excited to finish up this collection because it's a series I love. How many times am I going to say love in this video, y'all? Next, we have volume 5 of Love Me, Love Me Not. I continue to really enjoy this series, and volume 6 was equally fantastic. Can't wait to get my hands on a physical copy. Keep going. And then I have volume 10 of Shortcake Cake, and this boarding house style romance continues to deepen and we get to know more about our characters. It's so good. I'm really excited. There's only 2 more volumes left in this one, maybe 3. I think it's only 2 though. So I'm really interested to see how they're going to choose to wrap this one up. And then the gloriousness of volume 13 of Requiem of the Rose King. I mean, this cover is even on my bullet journal for 2021. Like, not only is the cover gorgeous, the story inside is amazing. The cliffhanger at the end is killing me. I have to wait till next summer for volume 14. I'm dying inside. Okay, I have to put that down. And then we have volume 9 of Daytime Shooting Star. This is probably one of my favorite covers of Daytime Shooting Star, if I'm honest. I really, really love everything that happened in this volume. So it's good. We've got 3 more volumes of this one. There's only 12 in this one. So we're wrapping this one up this next year as well. Some of my favorites are wrapping up next year, y'all. All right, next we have volume 4 and volume 5 of Blue Flag. I continue to love the series. I think I've read volume 6. No, not yet, but soon. Anyways, I continue to love this series. It's so good. It's just so good, y'all. This is about 14s exploring romantic relationships and their sexuality. It's handled so well. It's beautiful. I cry often with this series, so definitely check it out. I did get a couple of gifts from Viz this quarter. I got a physical copy of Meizan Ikoku Collector's Edition Volume 1. Volume 2 is out as well, and I'm trying to budget in picking that one up. And then I also have Volume 1 of Fangirl that was also sent to me from Viz. I have read this, and I think you can read this or the book, depending on the format in which you like. I personally think I prefer the book on this one, just because I feel like some of the depth that I love of the book doesn't translate well into manga. So I have Volume 9 of Beastars. I continue to really love the series. I actually quite love this cover. I'm really glad it's facing out on my shelf when I put it away right now because it's just really, really good. All right, y'all, that is my haul. I have read a good chunk of it. I really don't have too much on my physical TBR right now, so a lot of it's going to be read shortly as well of what I haven't read. So thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.